Hey guys, Steve Harris here with MuseThemes.com. A few weeks ago, we released a widget called Mumblr. And Mumblr was a great solution for you to integrate a blog into Muse that you actually build on top of Tumblr. So you can give your client the login for Tumblr and you can have them upload content, whether it be photos or images or videos. And Mumblr has the power to pull in just what you need. So you can use it as a blogging solution that doesn't require any sort of complex server setup or anything like that. Or you can use it as a content management solution for Muse. Well, the response we've gotten on it has been overwhelmingly positive. Thousands and thousands of users have integrated in their site and they're loving it. But we did get some feedback. And we've been using the feedback that you've given us on our forum to make major improvements to Mumblr. And so we're happy to roll out our second version of Mumblr just a few weeks after we initially released it, and it's got tons of new functionality. And this video is going to show you all the exciting improvements that we've made. So let me jump into Muse and walk you through what's different. So the first thing you'll notice when you go to the library panel and you drag Mumblr out onto the page, it is now two components, not one single component. We had to do this because the panels are just getting too big and we wanted to add so many new options into this. So this main component here is the kind of blog setup component. So this is where you integrate the blog ID, you change the formatting, that sort of thing. This small component here has its own panel, and this is all styling controls. So things like colors and fonts and padding and that sort of thing. So when you drag Mumblr out on the canvas and you see these two components, don't worry. You have all the options you originally had and more, but it will seem a little bit different than our first video. So let me go ahead and do some quick setup on this. And the blog that I'm going to pull in this time is the Life magazine blog. So the Tumblr username is just Life, and you can see it here in Chrome. So you just copy the beginning here and I'll paste that in Muse and we're good to go. So it's pulling in the Life magazine. I'm also going to go with a gallery style layout and I'm going to do 2 columns, and let me just up the results per page to 6, just like that. Okay, I'm going to make sure it's centered here and it's looking pretty good. So let me preview this in the browser. So Life likes to use photo posts. So on the Tumblr backend, when somebody's uploading, they click photo, and that's how they're doing these posts. Before, when you would click a photo, it would open in a new browser tab. Now when you click on a photo, it opens in a light box. And you do have control over this, but this is just a much sleeker and more refined solution. You also have the ability when you do gallery posts to actually scroll through the multiple photos without leaving the light box. Another highly requested feature is the ability to control the Load More button or even shut it off completely. So if I click Load More at the very bottom here, it's just going to pull in more of those Tumblr posts. Now within the widget panel, if I open up the main controller here, you can see that we have Load More and a Show and Hide option. We can also change what the Load More text says if you want to do something a little bit different or not in all caps. And then on the styling component, you also have Load More controls here for changing the background and the text color. So you have a little bit more customization there, or you can hide it completely. Another really exciting change that we've made to Mumblr is the ability for you to filter by a tag. So you can see on the kind of gallery setup component here, we have tags, we can show and hide them. And now we have a filter by tag. So we have all in there right now. It's going to show all the posts that no matter what the tag has. But let's say you want to use Mumblr to pull in just a certain component of a feed. Well, if I go to the Life magazine one here, you can see that there's a couple of tags added to some of these. So one of the most popular tags is Life Legends. And you see it's not on every post here, but there's another one down here on this picture of Frank Sinatra. So if I go back to the widget panel here, and I just add in filter by tag and I go Life Legends. You don't need the hash symbol before. And now I preview this in the browser. Look what happens. See, it's only pulling in the items that use that tag. So you need to think about the power that this gives you. So if you give your client the login to Tumblr and they have different pages that are all pulling in the same Tumblr feed, you can actually tell them what to tag it and control what's going to what page based on what you're telling them or how you've set it up in Muse. So you could filter by, you could run your portfolio through Tumblr and have tags called web design and print design, and it's going to pull them into the right place if you're embedding multiple Mumblr feeds. So this is an awesome, awesome new feature. Another feature that we've added that was probably the biggest request of any of them is the ability to limit post lengths and add kind of a read more button or a pop-up. So right now we've got a little bit of kind of a caption after this photo post, and this is just a small paragraph here. But let's say you've added a ton of text, or you're just doing the regular posts in Tumblr and they're full, big, comprehensive blog posts. Well, now on the actual controller panel here, below Enable Regular Posts, we have some limiting options. So for a regular post, we could set it to limit a certain number of characters. We could go up to something like 100. And when we do that, we're going to see a Read More button appear. And the Read More button can be opened in a lightbox or directly on Tumblr. Now, because Life magazine is using a photo post, we've also added the ability for you to limit these photo post captions. So right now we're going to view the large photos in a lightbox. Let's limit these at something like 50 characters. And when you click Read More, it's going to pop up in a lightbox again. Okay, so let's preview it in the browser one more time. There, so now you can see that we're only getting these 50 characters on the captions, and it's pulling in this Read More button. When we click the Read More button, we've used the same lightbox that we used for the photos, but you can actually scroll up and down within these lightboxes. So now there's no limit to how much content you can pull into the lightbox, but you're not going to be pulling in this huge pile of text right onto your main site that could be kind of an eyesore. So this is a great new feature, and again, it's available for both regular post types and photo posts, as you can see here below. Another tweak that we've made is the way that Tumblr handles videos. So if you're embedding a YouTube video or a Vimeo video in Tumblr, Mumblr had no problem playing those. But what if you're doing a video post? And I'll show you what I mean. So in the Tumblr backend here, you can do a video post and upload your own, and Tumblr is going to host that. Well, for our original release, those videos didn't have play controls. We actually had to force Tumblr to show those. So we've optimized this in the new version. And let me change our feed here to our demo feed, which was VACC stuff. This is just what I've been using for testing. So now you can see that when I load this page, this video here that I uploaded through the Tumblr backend has play controls. And when I actually click the play button here, we can go full screen, we can shut off audio. This video doesn't have any audio, but you have much better control over videos if you're just using Tumblr to host them. So that's a great improvement. The last thing that I'm going to show you here is something really kind of clever, and it's the ability to have a post linked to itself in a lightbox by hiding the content. So that sounds really confusing, but let me show you what I mean. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to change this to be the standard style layout, so a single column. And now I'm going to go into my Tumblr backend, which is right here, and I'm just going to create a new post. So let's create a text post, and we'll just call this sample post. And let's type something in here. So I have our thread open that has kind of the updates that we have available for Mumblr. So let me just copy some of those and let me paste it into Tumblr here, just like this. Okay, perfect. And I'll click post. So now this is going to show up on our feed. And let me just refresh this page here. And there you go. So the sample post is showing up. So on our main Tumblr controller, down here below the regular post, we have title show and content show. If we decide to hide the content, watch what happens. See how this becomes a link? Now when you click that link, it actually opens up the content within a lightbox. So it's smart enough to know that, hey, you're hiding this content, and where do we want to show this? Let's show it in the lightbox. You can, of course, change it to link directly to Tumblr, but I think it looks much better in the lightbox. So just remember that if you decide to hide your content, it's not a big deal. People can get at it still. So I think that covers the major upgrades that we've made to Mumblr. Now, one thing to make note of here is that on our site, we have, on all the product pages, we have this update log. And if you click the update log, you can see what all the changes we've made to widgets. So we update widgets frequently, almost every week, based on improvements or bugs that users have found. This version is 11.3 of Mumblr, so you can see it here, and it actually links to the forum posts that we've been using to test with our users. So within this forum post, you can see a breakdown of all of the things that we've been adding. So here's one that I posted where we have some of the things that we've implemented. Then we've got another one on the second page as the days went on where we've added more and more new features. So we're going to start using our forum to do user testing more and more because it worked so well. We got such great feedback, and we put out an update right away. So thanks again for watching. Best of luck using the new version of Mumblr, and don't hesitate to send us more feedback if you have it. Thanks again, and cheers.